It just talks about the EVs in general.
So I'm not too sure if President Trump wants Chinese spy vehicles coming across the border, but I'm betting the answer is no. You know, when you get on your cell phone, it's the Chinese that are going to be listening to your, and I'm not making this stuff up, they're going to be listening to your telephone conversation. I find it ironic that the Prime Minister is using a burner phone and all his staff over in China, but we're making a deal, it's Huawei 2.0, to come back into Canada, and we get nothing but potential job losses in our factories right across the board. And there's over 500,000 people that are employed in the auto sector. And that doesn't include all those families that go out and do their grocery shopping, buy clothes, maybe put an addition on their home. So this is a serious, serious matter. They say it's only 49,000 vehicles. Folks, it's really 33% of the EV sales in Canada. And once the camel gets his head in a tent, his whole body's in the tent, and you aren't getting rid of him. Remember this speech. And yes,
That's good. That's good. Well, I mean, that's
he is a bit funny though, isn't he?
He's nailed that part of it. It's going to be a soft sell, and then they're going to ship a bunch of cars here and say, "Oh, you know, we end up 100,000 cars here. What are we going to do with them?" You know, and they're just going to quietly move up the quotas, and that's what's going to happen. But
yeah,
Doug.
Based on it's a leash, isn't it? It's a leash, and we're the dog. China's the dog walker. You have to remember that relationship, and that is a leash. And as long as we're a good dog, the leash will be extended, perhaps. And that means more cars, that means more canola purchases, more FDI, whatever it is. We're on a leash.
Doug, if you were fighting,
you know, let's hope it's worth it to prove a point to Donald Trump, I guess, because that seems to be the strategy.
Where was Doug fighting against the EV mandate all the time, though, too? Where was Doug? He just towed the Liberal line, too. He never said nothing. Because that was clearly one of the big problems. That came from the 6 CEOs of the automakers here in Canada. Doug, silent on the issue. Doug, silent on the issue. Now, when he notices that there's going to be massive layoffs, because I'm sure he's hearing from all these auto sectors, and they're just like, fine, we're leaving. And now he's panicked because it's 500,000, and those are good-paying jobs. These are not, you know, like the part-time jobs that, you know, the Liberals tout. You know, we got these server jobs. Now, these are manufacturing jobs. This is the heartbeat of Ontario, is the auto manufacturing sector.
Well, and
heartbeat
number two export as well, you know, for Canada.
It's the heartbeat of Ontario. It's the heartbeat. And Mark Carney basically stuck his hand into the heart and just ripped it out.
But Mark Carney did say, sorry, you just mentioned jobs there. Mark Carney said when he was having a nice, friendly, warm conversation with Gideon Rackman of the Financial Times, he said, "Did you know we've actually created more jobs in the United States since the tariffs were put in place? In absolute terms," he said. And it's interesting that you should bring up quality of job, because obviously kind of jobs that are being created in the United States. I mean, even the famously is like manager of a car wash in some random part of Texas, salary $400,000 a year and things like that. Whereas, I mean, I'm not aware of that many jobs in Canada where you get that much money, unless it, you know, science advisor or something like that, extraterrestrial correspondent for the federal government.
And I watched Mark Carney also say it'll be the auto manufacturing of the future that'll come to Canada. So he's basically recognizing this auto sector is dead, and that the Chinese will come here, and that will be the future of Canadian automaking. You know, maybe somebody should just take a look at what the Chinese have done in Brazil. Just have a look. Just take a peek over there. Just, you know, maybe just take a look.
I mean, everywhere they've gone, this is what the Chinese do. I mean, they are a bit like the Ferengi in that sense, aren't they? They just kind of dominate the market, copy what they need to copy, and they're ruthless merchants. But it's not like free trade. It is more imperial. It's more like mercantilism or something like that. Like they see it as it's a zero-sum competition, and they want to be some, and they want to make sure that you're zero. And every single time, they pretty much get what they want because they don't play by the rules. So. But yeah, Carney talking about how, well, he said in that speech, didn't he? Said nostalgia is not a strategy. And he said when he was talking about cars, he said, we're not going to pretend that this is the past. where we can just do the same things. So I guess that means like knock out GM cars and things like that and sell them to America. Saying like we need to embrace the future, not, rely on a past that doesn't exist anymore. But is the future then BYD assembly plants in Ontario? I mean, this is the thing with Carney, like you've got to really spell it out, friend. You can't just like hint at these things. We're not flirting with an unreliable boyfriend here. We need something, we need real solid information here, and we just never get it.